blah 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 blah. Yeah, going great. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Blah 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 blah, 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 blah.
Come on, take me to the beach. Take me to the beach. Take me to the beach. I'm gonna go to the beach. Take me now. Take me down to the beach. Take me down to the beach. To the beach. Beach, 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 beach. Woof, woof, woof. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Take me to the beach. Take me to the beach. Take me to the beach. I'm going to the beach. Yes, 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 yes.
Well, this is it.
Oh yeah, Mike asked.
Get back.
You got your car repaired, did you?
I did in the end, yeah. What a bloody mission that was.
How much did that cost?
Well, it was, well, it's still a lot of money, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It wasn't the turbo itself. It was the fuel pump.
Oh,
But they're mega expensive. So you said, look, I'll put you a second-hand one on. Because new ones are just like over £1,000.
yeah.
It's just not worth it. But the car is so much different. It's never, I don't think it's ever been going right ever since we've had it. It's like driving a new car now. It's great.
Oh, brilliant. The stove here.
Yeah.
Mike was asked, asked me to ask you if you'd got it done.
Yeah, I managed to get it done just before the taking the stuff down.
The last car I had a problem with the alternator, and I said, "Oh, how much is a new alternator?" She said, and the garage guy goes, you think, "Oh shit, prepare yourself." So it was really expensive. I said, "Well, I don't think the car's worth that much. Is there any way we can get around that?" She said, "Oh, I'll find you a second-hand one." Yeah, we'll do that then. A cheap one, please, because it only lasted a couple of years after that.
Well, things if it goes, you got to, it's like I got my Lexus. I've had that now for how long? Must be 20 years. No, it's not 20 years. It's about 15 years. It's on its last legs,
Yeah.
And things are going wrong with it all the time. So, but I don't mind spending like 500 quid or something like that each year to keep it going because it's still cheap motoring because it's paid for itself.
Yeah, bloody right. I do the same with mine. I'm not going to change my car again now. Touch wood. I got my little 206 or 206. What do you say that? How do you say it in English? Peugeot 206.
Peugeot 206.
206. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Turbo D.
Yeah.
HD panel, and it's been serviced in the garage all its life. Got a few dents and scratches on it, but like the most I had was about 4 years ago. It had gone a bit down to rack and ruin. It hadn't been touched for 2 years, So I had a lot of stuff to do in it, and I thought it was going to cost me over 1,500. So at this point, I was thinking about buying another car. But then I went to the garage. He said, "Oh, we do all that to get it past the equivalent of the MOT over here."
Yeah.
He said, they were on about in between 500 and 800. 500 and 800 is a bit of a discrepancy. So it depends on the parts I can get. Might be a bit more, but there was a lot of stuff to do with the steering and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And all the bollocky bits. And so in the end, it cost me about 720.
Yeah.
And it passed the MOT flying colours. And then 2 years later, it cost me for the MOT and about 70 quid again.
Well, it's nothing, is it? It's nothing. The car's paid for.
I got another MOT coming up now in a couple of weeks. For the 12th or 11th. And I'm expecting it to not cost me a lot at all because the expense is 70 euros now for it's called a control technique over here.
Oh, right.
the MOT.
I mean, it's every 2 years up there, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's every bloody year in our country.
Is it?
Yeah, every
My
bloody year.
God.
You know.
It's every year for a van. I know if you got a van, it's every year. Over here.
And the thing is, the roads are so bad out here that within 12 months, you know damn well the steering's going to be all knackered and battered to bits because it's the bloody holes in the road.
And mine was when I first started, when I got it done, it cost me nearly 800. It was bloody hell, there was noises coming all over the place out of it, what the fuck was that? There's all these connecting rods that are loose and being used and had to be changed and all that. So anyway, it turned out all right in the end.
You get there's quite a lot of people I know, and they're not business cars, but they change them every 3 years. I'm thinking, God, that's like serious money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know how they do it.
Well, I think if it goes down to 4 or 5 years, then the price really does drop on them or something like that. But you drive a car out of a showroom and you lost $5,000 straight away. Like,
well, 20% VAT is gone,
yeah,
and then you've already got depreciation because it's a second-hand car.
yeah,
So your £30,000 car loses $6,000 as you drive it off the drive. So you're down to 24,000, and then it's be depreciated as a second-hand car. So you're down to about 22 grand. So you already lost $8,000 just driving it off the forecourt.
yeah. Ridiculous, isn't it?
They say on average, a good car will lose about 30% in 3 years. If it loses more, then that's a naff car. But on average, it's 30%. That's a lot of money to lose.
You think these people will just think about having one of these long-term hire things, wouldn't you?
Well, for some people, they would probably pay. They do this what they call PPI leases, which sounds great. You end up with it paying a little bit out each month. You have to put a large deposit down, like $5,000.
Yeah,
It's like £150 a month to get a brand new car. But after 3 years, they take the car back off you.
Oh, you
and
don't
the
get
money.
to keep, huh?
Yeah. If you want to keep the car, you have to pay the outstanding balance, which might be about 10 grand or something.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So once you're in it, because if you get out of it, you lose all your deposit. So people just carry on paying in then.
That's a bit of a... I didn't know that because I thought, oh, that sounds pretty good. You could buy a car for 120 quid a month.
No, it's just leasing it. You just borrow it. And if you do higher mileage, you pay another premium.
I just thought, I couldn't work out. I counted it all up, over 3 years. I thought, well, that doesn't quite make up the price of the car, actually.
No, you don't. You're just renting it, basically.
Yeah.
And you got to pay for any damage done to it.
Originally, I thought, well, that's a great deal because you can just buy a car and you'd have a brand new car after 3 years, all paid for and everything, tidy. So I was thinking of it, and I thought, well, nah, hang on a second. Doesn't quite
There's always a catch somewhere, Con.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, once you're in it, you're stuck. You're in it for life because you can't get out of it. Because if you get out of it, you lose your deposit.
Yeah.
Of course, the more you put in, the cheaper the monthly payments are. So you're tempted to put more money in and have a cheap weekly payment.
Yeah.
But then don't get your money back.
I could never understand the desire to have a brand new car. Okay, what an idiot idea.
But it is stupid, I tell you. It is now. The cost of cars is ridiculous.
When you look at the cars today, fair dues, they're pretty good, they last. They do last. They're not like the old BMC
No.
jobs that just fell to pieces, rust buckets, and stuff like that. They really are built to last, sort of thing. Even though there are the Friday afternoon cars as well, the Monday morning cars, they're still out there. But if you've got a little bit of luck and you're not too badly done, you can get a good second-hand car and respectable mileage, not too expensive, and it's in really good condition. I know nobody would have a car after me because I just don't look after it. I don't wash it. I don't clean the insides.
Well, I'm afraid I'm the same kind of my cars. It's just a wreck.
It's a work tool,
Yeah, it just gets me back for the work. That's all I need it for. It's nice to drive in luxury when you can, but you know, it's got to the point now that I get in the car and there's the roof, sliding roof leaks, so I got a big pool of water in the bloody where I put my feet down.
Oh, nice. That's good. I had that
And
with
then
you know, you got the aerial that fixes on the roof, and that had somehow worked loose, and I was getting all this water coming out of the light. I couldn't work it out. I thought, what the fuck's this water? Where's all this water coming from? And I looked at it, so I had to take it apart and actually pull it all down and got it all out and re-siliconed it. It's been okay ever since.
no, we got an old Shogun. This is on his last. Well, it's on his last legs. We just had quite a bit of money spent on it, as you know, because it broke down. But that roof, bloody roof light's leaking as well, and you got to put plastic sheets over the bloody seat because it's like sitting on a wet sponge. Otherwise, if it's been out in the rain, you've had it. You know,
it's like when you come out the water and you go home in in a wetsuit. And then you go out and get changed in the shower, or great, you know, and then you have to go out somewhere and you sit down and go, oh no, everything's wet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, cars are just so bloody expensive in this country. I don't know what it's like up there, Con, but
Well, I think it's probably in when for the average person. I'm not my average person. I'm not an average car buyer. But I think for anybody who's into cars, you know, it's probably as expensive as it is in Britain.
I believe that servicing is a lot cheaper in France. Especially if you've got a French car.
Yeah, I got a
They're really stiff in this country.
I got a Peugeot, and you can go to any garage and get it done anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's an HD, and it's got you can't see basically not a lot of the engine you can see.
No,
there's all these big coverings over it and all that.
No, can't do it yourself anymore. I wouldn't want to do it myself anymore anyway.
No, neither would I. You know, I do it if there's lights to change, or you know, like, well, changing. I had to change wing mirrors because some fucking twats went up and down the road, kicking them off. You know.
Yeah.
It cost me what, 25 quid a piece, 25 euros a piece, and took the panels off and did it myself, like, you know.
Yeah.
And that was all right. YouTube's great for that.
I know. I used to do everything myself up until about 15 years ago. When I bought the Lexus and the other cars, it just got too complicated. Electronics and special tools, and you know, I think my time's up.
You used to have a Mini or you had a Cortina.
Yeah.
Everything was open. You could just take bits off it and then go and find it down the scrappy.
That's right.
Go and have a look around the scrappy, finds one, looks all right. That'll do. How much for this, Gav? Oh, give us 50p. I'll be all right. You know? Oh, give us a quid for that one. That's in good state, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I had all the lights come on the Lexus. All the brake lights came on, and took it to the garage. You know, it looks like it's a wheel speed sensor. So it sort of it picks up the speed of the wheels. So if you put your brakes on, it knows if the wheel stopped or not, and the computer then decides whether or not to brake that wheel or not. So I bought one of these sensors and I took the car in, and he rang me up. He said, "It's not the speed sensor." He said, "It's the drive shaft." I said, "What do you mean the drive shaft?" He said, "Oh, well," he said, "there's a little ring which sticks on the drive shaft, which has got little sort of sensors on it. And that's what this other sensor picks the sort of magnetic pickup on it." I said, "Well, can I just change that?" He said, "Usually you can, but it's rusted onto the drive shaft. So you've now got to buy a new bloody drive shaft." He said they're about 900 quid or something. I thought, oh,
Jesus.
I managed to get one from a scrapyard, so I'm waiting for him to fit it now. So hopefully I'll have proper brakes. So the brakes work, but I don't know how well they would work in an emergency going around a bend.
Yeah, right. This is the question on that. It's great.
It'd be too late to find out, isn't it?
On a dry road in a straight line, it looks as though it works really good, and then all of a sudden you find yourself braking on a little leafy covered road in the middle of nowhere, like down a Gower, for example.
Yeah.
And you got a couple of sheep in the middle of the road as you go around the corner.
Which happens quite often.
which happens
Hell of a lot, in
yeah,
fact.
yeah, happened to me many times. Fucking went into a herd of sheep on my bike.
Yeah.
I was been shaping down winds, and it's bloody February, and my light had broke. The lights had broken on my. It was an XL 125 Honda, and the lights had broken, and they just weren't working, you know. And it was in winter time, so I had to leave. My work day was really short, basically, you know. Get down when it gets light, and then leave before it gets dark, sort of thing.
Mm.
Anyway, so I'm a little bit late, so I'm rushing along now. And of course, luckily enough, I didn't have the brakes set to spot on. I like having my brakes very soft, you know, especially on a bike, because you hit the front one and you're fucked, you know. So I was on about 50, 60, you know. I was freezing to death. My hands are freezing. Like that. Came around the corner. It was where was it? Hang on. When you come out of Oxford, you turn right to go to Mumbles.
Yeah.
About half a mile up, 2 miles up the road from there.
Mm.
And it's just a couple of series of double bends like that. So I didn't see anything. I come around this corner, and right in front of me, about 50 yards away, a herd of sheep, a flock of sheep, and fucking cars everywhere stopped around, you know, stopped for the sheep. A herd of sheep had got out somewhere, which is like normal on the Gala. So I thought,
Yeah.
I thought I'm not going to be able to stop here. It's impossible. And I looked, and I thought, fucking, there's a car. I'm going to hit the car, or I can slightly go like this and hit the sheep. I thought, and it all went through my head. And I'm like, sheep, no, they're soft. Cars, no, they're hard, and they cost a lot to repair. Sheep. So I went straight into this herd of sheep. By this time, I dropped it on the side, you know. So I didn't tumble off, and bike went away, and then I'm there lying on the floor, like. Next thing you know, is all these fucking sheep are dancing on top of me, going berserk. You know, fucking sheep everywhere. It was heaven.
Yeah.
But when I got the bike up, it was like all buckled and bent, and the handlebars were like this. So I managed to jerry rig it, as they say,
Yeah.
and drove home like this. And my jeans were all ripped, and my gloves were all ripped, my elbows were all ripped open, knees scratched, and it was fucking mid-February and like cold, you know.
Mega cold.
You had to go down through Park Mill, and it gets even colder in Park Mill. It's like bloody Mordor. Or not Mordor, the mines of Minas Tirith or somewhere. But it gets cold as 10 men, like a bloody Arctic. And by the time I got home, I was, for about a minute, I was stuck on the bike like that. I couldn't move my knees. I couldn't move my hands. So I had to just sort of edge myself, slide myself off the bike. My hands were still like that. And I was with Claire at the time, Claire Williams. I got into the house, and she said, "What's wrong with your hands?" I said, "Bro, I fell off my bike into a sheep. I'm fucking freezing. Help!" Oh, you poor boy, come here. Oh, oh God, I was well, the bike wasn't fucked afterwards. He sort of straightened the handlebars out, and I ended up selling it. I bought it for 150 quid, and I sold it for 200 quid in the state.
Oh, that's bargain.
Well, I put new tires on it as well. When I got it, it was in a bit of a state, you know. Well, it was 150 quid. Now, I've been looking for one. I was thinking of getting one last summer. And like, if you find one under 1,000 quid, you really are lucky, you know.
Oh, bloody hell.
And this one was special as well, because it was a 125, but it had been bored out to be a 185. So it was registered 125, but it was sneaky 185, which you could blast little scooters off with, you know.
Yeah, you never didn't ever do your testing, Con?
No, I didn't. I wish I had now.
Mm.
I would like to have had a 350 XL. Would have been lovely.
In fact, I've just had my renewal of your driving license form just been sent to me. Because I'll be 70 in January, and in this country, don't know what it's like in France. You got to apply for a new driving license.
Mine's good for. Hang on. What does it say on mine? I can't see fuck all.
Bad as me,
2032. Mine's good for.
2032.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, that's another 9 years.
Yeah, French driving license.
I thought we were all the same. I thought everything was the same in it, whereas obviously it's not, is it?
You're in Brexit. You left you Brexited, didn't you?
Oh, it's been the same ever since. We were sold this dream that we'd all everything in when we joined the European market, we'd all have the same rules and regulations, and the government just picked and choose which ones they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
And when we left, then we got kicked in the nuts for the ones we didn't have.
Yeah.
It's been like balls up, basically.
Oh, I couldn't believe it, man. I thought, what the fuck? When I heard that on the news, because I heard it 2 days after I didn't know about it until 2 days after. I thought, no, they haven't done that, have they? No, it's a joke.
We were just lied to be honest. We were lied to and never told the truth from either party.
Yeah.
Both parties lied about what was likely to happen.
Well, they changed it, didn't they? The prerogative was basically people in Britain were voting on illegal immigrants, immigration.
Well, that's right.
You know,
we had 1 million people here last year.
Huh?
We nearly had close on 1 million people last year.
But you know,
so much for stopping the people.
Everybody voted to go out, to get out of Europe, thinking, oh, that's going to stop any immigration now, and we all be able to have all jobs, and they won't do the jobs anyway because it's cleaning toilets or something like that, you know. And they won't do the jobs; they'd rather stay in the dole. But we vote for out, didn't it? You know.
That's what happened, and they didn't stop anybody coming here.
No, it
got worse and worse.
Yeah.
The Tories are in for a kick in. I don't think Labour are going to be a particularly strong enough party to take anything on. I don't know how true it is, but allegedly Jeremy Corbyn is behind the Labour Party. He's driving it, even though he's not the head man. He just kicks the head man to say what to say. Behind him, you know, if they did get in, it'll be a Corbyn run Labour government. So nobody knows what the hell's going to happen. And you have Farage and his party.
Oh, fucking hell. Is he still around? Hasn't he been shot yet?
No, he hasn't. He's in Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. That Australian thing, you know?
No, I don't know.
No,
I've seen it. I've seen things about it, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's out there at the moment. He's one of the people.
He'll probably get bitten by a brown snake and that'll be the end of him. Great.
So it's all a bit of a farce. The whole thing's a bloody farce, isn't it?
These people would do anything to get known and seen.
Well, he's known by the people on the listen to the radio said he's in it really to try and publicize himself and get more votes for his party.
You can imagine, him thinking, "No, this celebrity business that'll get me known." Have we got any contacts with the people involved in?
Well, they love it, don't they? Because he is so outspoken. They just love to have him. But of course, he's got a
perfect candidate for get me.
Got to be so bloody careful because if he pisses people off, he knows he's going to lose his credibility. So he can't say the sort of things he would normally say. Yet he wants to say stuff to keep him in sort of in the highlight. And when it comes to elections, I'll be there and he's the man. I think there'll be tears before he's landed. Yeah.
Bloody hell, man. I mean, what the fuck is that? I'm happy I don't live in Britain.
Oh, there's lots of stuff here that you wouldn't like now, Con.
No, I'm sure if I came back to live in Britain, I'd be Mr. Grumpy, I'm sure. I would be the original Mr. Grumpy. I don't know why. I would love to come back, but not to live, that's for sure. But I will come back one of these days.
Are you allowed to come back and stay?
Yeah, of course I am.
You would be allowed to.
Yeah, I got an indefinite carte de séjour.
We've got to
virtually French.
if we want to go to France now, we got to make an application to have a visa. Cost I think it's 15 quid, but I think it lasts 2 or 3 years or something. But you won't be allowed in unless you got your visa. And nobody knows about it. It comes into force in January. So there's going to be chaos on the bloody ports and the ferries. Everyone's going to be ranting and raving. The government hasn't really publicised it. No, monsieur, you've not got the visa. What visa? What bloody visa? The one we've told you got to have about 2 years ago.
I don't know. I've got a British passport, so I wouldn't get stopped at all, Coming back into France, I got my title to stay in the country permanent. I'm quite happy I could have taken out French citizenship and I couldn't have dual nationality. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, the French have relented because at the moment, I think you're only allowed to stay in France. Is it 80 days?
90, I think.
90, is it? Yeah. Well, they've realised now that all the British people are selling up their holiday homes.
Right, yeah.
So they've said,
3 months. What's that?
90 days.
90 days, yeah.
Maximum 90 days. And I think it was 90 days in a year. You couldn't sort of go in and come back out and do another 90. They said 90 days.
I'm not sure about that. I think you can now.
Yeah, well, they've changed the law because they've lost so much money in expats buggering off back home and flogging their houses because they couldn't use them and it was too expensive. So they said, "Oh, balls to this, we'll go back home." And then the French government said, "Oh, I'll tell you what we do. We'll just change the law to allow the British to come and stay a bit longer." They couldn't afford to.
The French, the froggies love us, don't they?
Well, it's all about money in the end of the day, isn't it?
And it's funny as fuck, man.
Is it a tourist area where you are?
In summertime, yeah. You got a month and a half of it, planned, 2 months, say. And, it doesn't get silly here like Biarritz, But there are a lot of people about. But here, it's really cool. It's not like, you get into Biarritz in August and Jesus, man, you take about 2 years to find somewhere to park. And then you'd have to pay for it and then come off the beach to redo it and everything. But, that's in center of town, that is. But here, there's don't pay for parking, anywhere. Nowhere, pays for parking, except when you go into town, go into Conibear, nearest town to us, and then there's a parking you got to pay for. But there's also loads of free parking around as well.
I remember Kenny Fraser. I did some work with him a few years ago before he went away, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And he drove down to Biarritz, him, the wife, and the kids. Got there, couldn't find anywhere to park, had a rant, and drove home. He couldn't find anywhere to park. He booked into a hotel or something. There was no car parking anywhere near it. Couldn't get down to Biarritz. He couldn't park anywhere because it was all full. So he came home.
Bloody hell, man.
He said, "Fuck it, I'm coming home." That's the sort of thing Kenny would do because he just loses his temper.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, he's quick on that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What was I going to say then? About the Brummies. I had Rob.
Oh yeah.
Rob called me up, got in touch with me, and was asking. He said, talking about photos. I got a lot of old photos of Johnny's.
Yeah, he must have. I was going to ask him about them because I remember Johnny having photographs of me in Biarritz.
Yeah, he's got a whole stack of photos, and he asked me if I wanted them.
Mm.
And I said, oh, bloody hell, I would love to have them. I'll take care of them, obviously,
Mm.
and I'll scan them all
Mm.
and put them into the archives of I Love Langland if
Yeah.
they're suitable,
Yeah.
If they're private, I won't,
Oh yeah,
But
obviously,
there's
yeah.
bound to be some
Yeah.
shots of the boys, you and me.
Well, I
And
know he had photographs. It's the one and only time I went to Biarritz, and he took quite a few photographs of, because we we're all in the same sort of group of tents. And you know, I'd
yeah,
like to see if he's got them and you get them.
yeah.
It'd be good if he got
It's what
them.
he said. He says lots of photos. I seen Kipper and you, and there's lots of people I don't know at all.
Yeah,
Surfing around Langland, but it's all based around Langland and what have you.
yeah,
Langland, Mumbles, and Swansea. That's what he said, and didn't say Biarritz, but I should imagine they'd be in there.
yeah. He did take photographs. There was a photograph of him. Must have been in Australia somewhere, Sydney, I suppose. Him and a crowd of other people.
Hmm.
I was on
That
Facebook.
was
Did you see that?
yeah, Budgie's. Was it Budgie's wedding?
But
No.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, with all the white zinc on the nose. Another one.
yeah. And there was a crowd of people, probably about 10 of them, standing in front of a car. And
Oh,
Johnny was just,
that's in Manly. Yeah,
man,
yeah. That was when all the Mumbles boys hang out in Manly.
might as well
Manly.
call it Mumbles.
Used to call it Mumbles.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Mumbles. It is, all the boys were there,
So, anybody know what's happened to people like Pete Siv now and Scandi and
Scandi is still chipping, I think.
yeah,
Up on Sunshine Coast, I think. Pete Siv, I haven't heard nothing about him at all.
I spoke to him probably 5 years ago when he came back.
Oh, yeah.
He came back for holiday, and he's met up with everybody. And then that was it. Off he went. And
Did he have an Aussie accent?
no,
Oh, good.
no, he was. He'd separated from his wife. He brought his. I think he got 2 kids. I think he brought his kids back with him. Had a meet up and a few beers.
All right.
Yeah.
Tidy. What was he doing over
there? He's working for a construction company. He got himself a good job, I think. Doing quite well.
Cool.
He's done well.
I did have a bit of contact with Scandi about last year, I think. He sent me an email.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't on Facebook. So I got his email address if you want it.
Yeah, we'll send you. I'll drop him a line. It'd be nice to catch up.
Last time I saw him was when we had that snow in 1991, was it? 1991.
Yeah, I was well away from here then.
Yeah, but I came up to shape some boards. So I was living in France then, so it must have been 91. And I was just the next day I was going to be leaving to go back to France. I didn't have my car with me. I came on a train just to shape boards. And when the snow fell, and all of a sudden, like, we're up to there in snow, and everything's not working at all. Yeah. So I was stuck in Mumbles for 3 days. Then I went down. We managed to get to Swansea Station. No trains, so it went another 2 days for the trains to get to Plymouth. And got to Plymouth and got the ferry across. And my girlfriend, Morgan's mother, came to pick me up, and it started snowing again at this time, And I go, fuck, I can't wait to get back to France. Bloody snow-free roads would be bloody marvelous. Get back to France, and she's been in the car for 12 hours, virtually sleeping, because she had to drive up because there was going to be snow, and she didn't know how to drive in the snow. So she parked the car, went to have a sleep, waiting for the boat to come. Next thing you know, she wakes up, and the car parks that deep in the snow. So she couldn't drive it. So I had to drive. Luckily, I had a bit of experience, like you as well, driving in snow. You just cool, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. No brakes, gears, no brakes, and so I had to drive back, and it took us hours to drive back, but it was beautiful. Just Brittany. You haven't seen Brittany in the snow. It's like the Alps,
Yeah.
But after a while, after about an hour, it got boring, you know. So you can't wait to get on the motorway now.
Yeah.
And we got on the motorway, and the motorway is clear. And the further south we went, then by the time we got home, it was like hardly any snow on the road at all. From being that thick up in Roscoff to being that thick down here, like, you know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's the same here. We've got snow in the West Midlands and Cumbria up north. It's like foot deep or something.
Wow.
Down here, we just got rain, so it's we're the world over this country.
Oh, I hate snow. I really do.
No, we're not kids anymore, Con. It's no fun in it, is it?
No, I didn't used to like snow when I was younger. It was cold shit. You used to get down your back when people throw balls at you. No, but you know, to go to go on holiday into the cold and get freezing and
You've never been skiing or snowboarding then, Con?
I went skiing on a dry slope covered in snow.
Yeah, that's
In the Swansea one when we were gonna go somewhere. I don't know what it was. Something Roger was trying to organise. Roger Bateman was trying to organise a trip to take us skiing, and I got sort of elbowed into it a bit, and so we did all this practicing, and we were in the little snow in his garage. So he had a little ramp in his garage. I was doing well on that, so he took us up to at the time it was around Morph or something. I don't know where it was.
Yeah, I know where it is. It's been gone a long time, but
yeah. But anyway, we got there, and it was all snow. It was snowing, and it was real. It was covered in snow. And Roger said, "Oh God, now we're in for it, boys." So he started going up this thing. I'm looking back, and I go, "Fuck, you know, it's a long way up, isn't it?" So we get halfway up, and I stop halfway up. I thought, right, that's enough for me now. That's cool, like you know. So I'm looking down, and I go, "Fucking hell." and it's I thought it was really steep because I'd never been up skiing on a real slope before, you know. So I started going down. I was trying to remember how to do this plow thing, you know. So in the end, I thought, well, fuck the plow. I'll just go straight and then I'll change, like, you know, like you see them in the movies, you know.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and I was getting on great. And all of a sudden, I got stuck in my sticks or something, and my skis went straight, and I couldn't. My sticks were holding me back or something. And I was going straight, like towards the end of the fucking thing. Fucking hell, I hit the barrier thing, not barrier. They had crash pads or something there.